Good morning. Good morning, Baltimore. I would sing to you from Hairspray, but it's a little early for that. I'm Sarah Pitcock. I'm the CEO of the National Summer Learning Association, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here to Baltimore. I hope you all had a great night last night. We've had some beautiful weather here in Baltimore, and hopefully you got out to see our fair city. And actually, I'm here to give a state of the field update, but before I launch into that, I want to do a little bit of a state of the city update for you. As most of you know, Baltimore is the home of the National Summer Learning Association. In 1992, we started here as a summer program called Teach Baltimore that paired Johns Hopkins undergrad students with students from Baltimore City Public Schools for summers full of literacy, enrichment, and fun. That program started a summer learning movement here in Baltimore that continues to this day. In April, we at NSLA watched as our city rose up in protest over the death of Freddie Gray. While our televisions depicted a chaotic scene, we here in Baltimore had an unprecedented opportunity to see what our city was really all about. A community that banded together to clean up, to hold peaceful rallies, and to hold each other accountable to honest conversations and hard work to come. In those rallies and marches that followed the protest, I was struck by several things. First, the movement in our city and in many others across the country is about far more than police misconduct. This movement is about equity, and it is led by young people, many of the very young people that we serve or hope to serve in our programs. Those young people are powerful orators and powerful messengers. Time and time again, as I've listened to them speak since April, do you know what they ask for? Do you know what they call for as a solution for our city? They ask for mentors, they ask for opportunities to learn and build new skills, and they ask for work experience. They are asking for after-school and summer programs. It's fair to say that I have been fired up since April. I'm renewed in my work because I'm no longer willing to hear that summer programs are nice to have. I'm no longer willing to hear that what we are doing is secondary to what happens during the school day. I believe more strongly than ever that what we are doing in the summer is creating the very safety net, the very connective tissue, and the very set of opportunities that will disrupt intergenerational poverty, close gaps, and change our communities. We selected our conference theme of renewing the promise and purpose of learning after what we saw and heard in April and May. Baltimore is renewing its commitment to its young people, and we hope to facilitate a time for reflection in you, the practitioners and leaders who are tasked with delivering on that promise throughout the country. So to me, the promise and purpose of learning is to ignite in young people of all ages that unique and individual fire that will keep them seeking knowledge and higher pursuits for the rest of their lives. I hope you will all take the time to reflect on what the promise and purpose of learning means to you while you're here at this conference. Throughout the conference, you will hear stories about the promise and purpose of learning and how summer programs are lighting and stoking those fires. You will hear from young people, from program providers, and from thought leaders. Our conference is called Summer Changes Everything, but I can tell you that one summer alone probably won't. So throughout the conference, you'll hear stories of communities and cities that are banding together to ensure that young people have the opportunity to move through a set of connected summer learning and after-school opportunities based on their interests throughout their school careers. In fact, you will hear from our very own Mayor, Rawlings Blake, in just a moment, about how Baltimore has increased its investment in summer programs and summer jobs. Baltimore joins a number of cities choosing to invest in summer learning. The mayor of San Francisco this year committed an additional $1.8 million in voter-approved funds to summer programs, which funded summer schools, rec centers, libraries, and other city agencies. We also saw expanded programs in cities across the country, from Beverly, Massachusetts to Kansas City, Missouri, Knoxville, Kentucky, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Phoenix, Arizona, among many others. These cities are making investments in summer learning that mirror what we're seeing at the state and federal level. In the 2015 legislative sessions, NSLA is tracking 32 federal bills and 175 state bills that have an impact on summer learning opportunities and summer funding. These bills touch a number of education priorities such as STEM, summer youth employment, literacy, the arts, digital learning, and college access. 43 of these bills have been adopted so far, and NSLA is supporting efforts in the states to prepare for next year's sessions with new advocacy tools and resources. We know that food insecurity spikes during the summer months, and we're excited to be part of a coalition working to make it easier to provide nutritious meals in the summer. On the federal side, the Summer Meals Act would ensure that more students can access subsidized meals in the summer with transportation funding, wouldn't that be great, and by lowering the threshold for eligibility in jurisdictions. The Summer Meals Act also reduces administrative burdens to make it easier to provide summer meals year-round, and these changes, if adopted by Congress, will result in stronger health and educational outcomes for students. As reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act continues to progress through conference committee in Congress, NSLA is focused on protecting the 21st Century Community Learning Center program funds for out-of-school time activities. We are also advocating for fully funding 21st Century to meet high demand, fostering partnerships between schools and community partners, and increasing opportunities for summer learning activities within other federal programs such as childcare, STEM, and summer youth employment. Our website, summerlearning.org, is a great place to go to learn about these bills and others, what NSLA is doing to promote supportive policies, and what you can do as well, both locally and with your federal representatives. So what have we done as a field to create all of this growing attention on summer learning? For one thing, we had a really great Summer Learning Day in 2015. If you don't know, Summer Learning Day is our National Awareness and Advocacy Day. It's the day when the traditional and social media attention on summer learning spikes because of the grassroots activities that are happening in your schools, in your community centers, in your libraries, and in your state capitals. In 2016, drum roll please, Summer Learning Day will be on July 7th. Stay tuned to your email for all the ways that you can draw attention to your program on that day and all the ways that NSLA can help you do that. So a little bit more about what we did this year, Summer Learning Day 2015. We had 1.4 billion, with a B, media impressions on over 1,700 stories on summer learning. We had 22 million Twitter impressions for our hashtag #KeepKidsLearning, thanks to you and all of our celebrity supporters like the First Lady, Michelle Obama, and Justin Tuck of the Oakland Raiders. Across the country, we had more than 1,200 events, programs, and pledges to keep kids learning on our interactive online map. Those events, we can pull up the map, spanned 338 cities and 48 states, plus the District of Columbia. So combined this year, we were able to capture almost 750,000 learning opportunities for young people across the country, which more than doubled what we captured in 2014. But we know there's so much more out there. I'm sure that in this room, there are learning opportunities and programs and events that were not on our map this year. So we are looking forward to a great 2016 and to continuing to grow this movement and demonstrate the power and the breadth of the summer learning community. So Summer Learning Day 2015 was our best yet, but there are strong indications that 2016 is going to be a really great year for summer learning. Just last week, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced the new National Center on Afterschool and Summer Enrichment, which is a $10 million program over 5 years that will help to improve the quality and implementation of after-school and summer childcare programs that are funded by more than $5 billion in federal funding annually. I'm very proud to say that NSLA is part of the winning consortium that will provide technical assistance to the states, tribes, and territories who are implementing this funding. This is the first time that summer learning has been designated in this way by a federal agency, and we're thrilled with this opportunity to reach all 50 states and so many providers who are reaching so many children with new tools, resources, and supports to improve these programs. Also, our relationship with the White House and the U.S. Department of Education continues to grow and strengthen. Last month, a team from NSLA went to Washington and met with the incoming Secretary of Education, John King. It's safe to say we have a strong and very committed summer learning champion in Mr. King, and we are excited to share in the coming months the way that this renewed partnership with the DOE will hopefully add critical visibility and capacity to all of our efforts across the country. I also want to thank all of our sponsors, the YMCA of the USA, Scholastic, and Giant Wordwinder, all of our exhibitors, and I'd like to say a special thank you to two of our anchor supporters at NSLA, the New York Life Foundation and the Wallace Foundation, who helped to make our conference as impactful as possible, but also everything that we do year-round. So we are so grateful to those core partners. And I want to give a special thanks to Comcast for sponsoring this session.